Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories. Welcome to my channel and look at the fun things we have going on right here. Okay, we're making wax seals today. And I have a bit of an obsession because they're addictive. Like, you cannot stop making them once you start. It's just like, you're like, oh, I want to make some out of that color and I want to make some out of that thing. So I will show you. I have some already on some things, but I have all but one of these things filled with wax seal stamps. So I can buy one more and that's it. A little bit of an addiction. Okay. So right now I've got a cross that we're going to do. And I've got a square or rectangular one that's a flower. And I've got kind of an oval looking one that is a rose. And I've got them already melting right now. You can they come in different sizes. So sometimes you will get a wax seal that is that small and sometimes that. So it varies on how many that you can put in your thing to start melting. So you just have to kind of pay attention. Now this one, the flame is closer to it, so it's melting. I put 3 different shades of purple in it, and I'm going to kind of mix them up and see what I get. Also, I've realized there's still a little bit of a clump in there, so we're going to put that back on for a few seconds. And I've got 2 different colors of green in this one. I'm going to take my little spatula and mix that up. I think this one is about ready. And I sometimes like to see the swirl, and sometimes I just like to make my own color with it. This one, I think I'm going to make my own color. And I'm going to go ahead and pour that on. I've got my little silicone little mats here that I like to use. Now here, I'm hoping that I have enough. I've already forgotten that I was doing this in a rectangular, and it might take more. But the one thing that I have found that is so cool about wax seals is that if you screw up, you can remelt those things. Yeah, just remelt them, start over. It's not that they have to be perfect, but you have to be happy with it enough to be able to put it with your projects. So here we're going. Let's see how this works out. And I gently, I don't just smash it down on, gently let it settle. And I can already tell that's going to probably need some more wax, but I'm going to leave it there and move on to this purple one. I've got 3 of them going right now because I wanted to have this go a little bit faster, and you don't have to sit and wait for it to melt. Now I'm going to kind of pour this out in a bit of an oval shape so that I can easily stamp with the oval stamp. Okay, we're just going to settle that on there, trying to make sure that it's somewhat even all the way around. Let it settle in, and then it's got to cool a little bit before you can take it off. I've got a little bubble in my mat, I think, so it's pushing it the other way, but that's okay. Okay, here we go. Moving on to the gold. I've got a brighter gold and a more antique gold that I am swirling together for this one. And I hope my arm is not in the way the whole time. This is a perfectly round one, so that'll be easier to do. And I know some people have struggled with this, but just know you really can't screw it up because you could just keep melting it. And that's what's fun. And if you can wait for it to cool a little bit, that's good, but we're not going to wait since I've got you guys on here, and I'm trying to get that pretty even, letting that settle in. Let's see what this one looks like. Now, as you can see, I've missed some corners. Some people would be okay with that. I don't particularly want it to look like that. So I'm just going to take it and tear it. Well, she says, nope, I'm going to cut it because clearly I'm not tearing that one. But we're going to just cut that back. Whoop, and put that back on the flame. And then I'm going to add another pellet, wax pellet. Okay, so I am doing a green journal now, so it's got varying shades of green. So I'm going to use one of those little ones. I may go ahead and use two. I'd rather have too much wax because then you don't have to pour the whole thing on there if you don't want to. Okay, so let's see how this one's done. Look at that, you guys. I'm going to take it off of here because it blends with that purple. Boop. I've got little wax threads. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. And we'll highlight those those raised areas with some stuff I have here in a little bit. Let's see how this cross did. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Okay, let's see what we got next. I try to do as many like colors as I can before I have to clean off the thing. So that one was gold. Let's do another gold, but I'm going to do an even brighter gold. As you can see, Isabel, my lovely exchange student who I miss desperately, helped me organize these into all these colors. Now, I'm going to do another, I think I'm going to do a crown this time. So I may do just one darker gold. Okay, so I'm going to switch this. It just screws right off. And I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to do the crown, because that's lovely to have a gold crown. Okay. Oh, and I need to get some more color on this other one. I was doing purple. Let's do another purple. I would like a darker purple, so I'm going to put two darker ones in there. And then maybe one even really dark purple slash blue, not even sure what color that is. And then one more of those. Okay, I think this green one is probably ready. Let's see how it's done. Yes, it's definitely ready. Now we're going to pour this on, getting it kind of a little bit of a square shape. I mean, it always turns a little bit oval, but let's see if we can get this on here. I'm going to settle that down. Okay, and let that sit for a bit. And let's see how these other ones are doing. We already did a rose. Let's do a different one. Sorry, my hand is in your face. Okay, we're doing purple, but look at this, you guys. I don't know if you can see the detail on this. This is a guitar with roses wrapped around it. You'll be able to see it better when we highlight it with these. I've got these kind of looking like eyeshadow colors, but really strong pigment. And we're going to go over the raised areas with that. Okay, let's see how this purple is doing. That flame is higher, so it's, ooh, isn't that a gorgeous deep dark purple? Let's get that on there. I was supposed to be putting that in a little bit of an oval shape, and I did not do that. Let's just kind of move that around a little bit. That might be more than what I wanted, but that's okay. Let's get that on there. Like I said, we can remelt it. It's no problem if we don't like it. And then let's see how this one is doing. I know my arm is in your face, but I don't know how else to do this. Let's get that poured on there and ready to go. I love these little silicone spatulas. They are so great for getting all the wax, or a lot of the wax down. Okay, we're gonna let that settle, and let's see how this one did this time. Okay, that's a little bit better. We got the corners in it that time. I don't mind that there's some rounded edges. That's cool. If you don't like that, I also have a silicone mat that has specific shapes, and it will keep it in that shape instead of getting those rounded edges. So if that's what you want, I would get it out, but I've got stuff on top of it right now. But anyway, there's that, and I like that. We're gonna set that aside. What do we want to do next? Well, actually, here's what I think we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna melt some stuff, and we're gonna make some cabochons. They turn out really amazing. So I'm gonna go back to my purple again. And I'm really loving that deep dark shade. I may even want it even darker than that. Ooh, I started to put it right on the flame, y'all. Woo! Okay, that would not have been good. Okay, I'm gonna get that, and then I may swirl in one lighter color, just for fun, for kicks and giggles. Okay, and then we're going to do a lovely green. I'm gonna pick some kind of muted greens, I think, not go as bright this time. I don't have as much that color. I tried to find more of it, and I'm struggling to find it. Now, I may put, you know, an extra one of these in here to make the cabochons, because you don't have to pour it all in, but you definitely want enough. Okay, and I think we'll just do one darker one like that. Okay, let's get that on and melting. And then let's go with some more kind of the natural colors. And we'll do some more stone looking colors. Maybe a little kind of rust, some copper, and maybe just a hint of a dull silver in there, and see what kind of fun stone looking colors we can come up with. All right, now let's see what this looks like, this crown. Oh, you guys, look at that. I don't know if you can see it, but I love that. Okay, and let's see this purple one. Oh, that turned out gorgeous. Okay. Now, let's see if I can break that loose. That one is resistant to wanting to come off. I may need to wash my silicone mats. I don't know what makes them that sticky, but that's okay. Oh, look at that, y'all. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we're going to put these aside. I'm trying not to make this a super long thing, and we're going to move these silicone mats because we're not going to use those. We are going to use some cabochons, or we're making cabochons. These are the little metal things that we will put them in. Now I've got 5 here because I'm not totally sure. I think the purple is ready to go. Let's see, where do we want the purple one in? Silver, antique gold, or black? Let's do it in the black. No, I think that might not show up. We'll do it in the silver. Okay, let's swirl that around. We're still going to leave it a little bit. Let's see. I want that really swirly. We're going to pour that in there, making sure to let it get bubbled up to the top. Now, there's a little left in here. I'm not concerned about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it out to the side and let it just cool. And then that'll be ready to melt again to make a different wax seal. Okay. Now let's see. These are still melting, but look how gorgeous. Can you see that? It looks like a polished stone. So while these are melting up, I'm going to show you some of the ones that I've already made. Okay. I've got this gorgeous kind of cobalt, or there's another name for this, I don't know, but it's a gorgeous blue. And look, this green is what I'm trying to replicate right now. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a stone? Oh. And then here we've done a pink with a little white. Now this one already has, I seal over the top of them with glossy accents. And that keeps them from being able to, you know, somebody's fingernail to scrape into them and make them look bad. I have not glossy accented this one yet, or this one. And the reason why is because also what I have done is I have put some designs in the middle of the stone. This is a ribbon flower, ribbon rose, and these are some crosses. And then I put them on top and glued them in place, and then glossy accented the whole thing, and that is hard as a rock now. So that is super fun. Now sometimes the little wax will pop out. That's fine. You can just glue it in with some E6000 or some other glue that you like. You can even hot glue them in there. I'm going to blow this out because we don't need that going. Now let's see, this green I'm going to put in this one. I like that. Okay. And we're going to swirl that around and pour that in. And I'm just going to scrape that out onto my glass mat, and then I'll put that in a baggie to remelt at a different time. Gorgeous. Okay, and then this one is ready to go. I'm going to put that one in the gold, or maybe the rust, because it's got a little rust in it. Oh, that is cool. I don't know if you guys can totally see what I'm doing, but a little bit. Okay. Just empty the rest of that on there. Okay. Now, when you clean these out, you really want to, they're piping hot. You will burn the stuffing out of yourself. So you've got to really build up some napkins or baby wipes and make it really thick, and then let that cool for a bit. Now I'm gonna melt these a little bit so that I can clean those out, and these will be drying on here. This one's already dry. I want you to see that. Can you see all the swirls and loveliness in that? Oh, plus it's purple. Yummy. Love that. These other ones I don't want to touch yet because they're still kind of wet. But you can see how lovely they turn. And see how they bubble up just a little bit? They don't put a whole lot of stuff, but they make a great dangle for things. And I'm not going to use these. It's getting quite hot over here, y'all. Yeah. But this one was really fun, and I know this is quite raised. I would use this, you know, on the outside of a journal, obviously not on the inside, because you can see it has quite a bit of bulk. But that is really fun. I would even use this, you know, as a necklace. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It doesn't have to be for junk journals. You can make these for actual necklaces or keychains or something. Just lovely. Okay. Get this one melting on there. Clean this off. Just don't touch these metal bits, because ooh, that's got quite a bit of black on the back from the candle. Might have to wash that with actual soap or something. I don't know what will get that off, but I'm making a bit of a mess. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, it really doesn't take that long for those to get hot enough to melt and clean off. I know I probably keep going off the frame. I don't mean to. Okay. Okay, we're going to blow those out. Okay, so we have made some fun things. Now, we're going to take, these are cool enough now, and we're going to let these continue cooling. And we're going to take some of this. You can also use a paint pen to highlight these raised areas, but I'm going to use this. I got this from my friend Crystal. Super fun. And there's varying shades. I think I'm going to use silver on this cross and see if I can really make it stand out from that gold. This has just got 3 colors, silver, gold, and copper, and I love it. I bet you could use a high pigmented eyeshadow as well. You don't have to have this. I mean, I probably have some I could use. If I'd go back there and look at some I don't really wear anymore. I'm going around the edge. I don't always choose to do that, but I just thought it would be interesting to see. And it stays pretty good. It can rub off a little bit, but it stays pretty good. Look at that. Can you see the detail in that? Isn't that fun? Oh, I love it. Fun. Okay, now for the green, I think I'm going to do the copper on that. Just seems like an interesting combination. So we're going to highlight that. Can't you just see that flower and the detail coming to life just by lightly going over it with this applicator? Okay. I'm just really putting just a little bit of shine on those raised edges there, and I want more detail inside. And just, you can build up the detail on that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Okay. Now, where's the other one? Other ones. What did I do with them? Oh, right here in front of my face. Smooth. Okay, let's see. For this one, I almost feel silver is needed again to go with the dark purple. I love purple and silver together. In fact, that was the color of my wedding. Just about this shade and silver. And I think it just turns out gorgeous. I'm just going to get around the edges of this. I don't think I want to go around the outside of this particular one. There's so much detail on the inside that I want that to stand up. Can you see that? Do you see that guitar and the roses? It's beautiful, beautiful. All right, and then we've got this crown. I wonder, I'm just going to try gold for kicks just to see. No, it definitely, I mean, it kind of shimmers it a little bit. I don't know. I may do that just because that's a little bit fun. I don't know if you guys can see it picking up that shimmer. So it's gold on gold, which I think is kind of cool. It really just highlights that image, that raised image, and shimmers it. And I'm just building up on it a little bit more and a little bit more. Oh, I had some black on me. I think that'll wipe off. It's just some soot. Okay, I'll have to mess with that with a baby wipe, but look at that. Do you see that? Sorry about the black. Okay, it's on my mat, that's why. Y'all probably saw that and were like, watch out. And I did not. Okay, let me clean that up a little bit. Oh, it's everywhere. Okay, well, I'll just clean my mat later. But in the meantime, and I don't have any wet wipes over here. I need to go and make a purchase. Oh, you know what I do have, though? I have a little bit of this disinfectant gel. I think I can get some of that off of me. All right, let's just deal with that. That does not smell good. Okay, we've got this one more. I think that's the last one. Did I just do 4? I may have just done 4. Okay, what color do you think? Ooh, I can kind of see gold on this. I think I'm going to do some gold with the kind of, it's not really lavender, it's more of a lilac, I think. Oh, that makes it look so vintage to me. Anyway, you guys may be going, no. But I love that. Let's go around that little frame. Now you could mix colors, you know, you could go around the center with silver and go around the frame with gold, or, you know, whatever you wanted to do, or whatever colors that you have. Like I said, if you're using eyeshadow, the possibilities are endless. And I actually just recently bought some eyeshadow I will likely never use. They're kind of copper colors, which doesn't go terribly well with my skin tone, because I have a kind of a pinky skin tone. Anyway, very white with pink. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Yummy. Oh, and I just flipped it upside down. Okay, so if you want to put, what do I do with the lid? If you want to put any kind of something like this on here, these were dangles, and I just took my nippers and cut the dangly part, this part right here, off of that so that I could just get that. But I love the cross on there. Again, I would wear that as jewelry, except I'm not fond of necklaces because they irritate my neck. But just cut off that little part there. So you would just kind of glue that down with something and let that stay so it's not moving around when you go to put the glossy accents. Then you put the glossy accents over the whole thing. It kind of settles in for itself. And then it holds that and the stone in place. This one is lovely. It's one of those ribbon roses. And it's quite raised, but I just think it's so pretty. And I love that robin's egg blue. So I'm not doing that because I mean, you all know how to glue. I don't think you terribly need me to show you how to glue. But I think they turn out beautiful. Oops, see how that came out like that? Then you just glue that in place, right? You just take, sometimes I use the glossy accents to glue it. I can't speak. Today is not my day for speaking. Okay, sometimes I just take some Fabri-Tac and put that in there. And then you just pop that back in place. Give it a little mash, you know, to move it around any air bubbles that might be getting in. And if any glue is seeping around the edge, you can get that off. But anyway, after a bit, that'll be pretty sturdy on there. Let's see if any of these are coming off. Yep, that came right off. But look at that. Doesn't that look like a stone? Now it's got some little wax threads. I love that. It looks like a polished stone to me, and I just think it's... Now, this is not my idea. I got this idea from Tina, from Shabby Dabby Doodah. And I was like, well, that's a bit of genius and super fun. Playing with the wax. I could sit and do this all day, but I'm sure that you're like, okay, we got it. But just play around with it. And like I said, if you don't like how it looks, then you can just remelt it. Even like, I have some that are in my, I've got a whole caboodle here of it. I love to put the wax seals on a little ribbon like that, on clusters, on tags, on decorative edge strips. There's just all kinds of things that you can do with it. And see, here's another square one that I put in the square silicone thing. and it kept its shape instead of making it more rounded around the edges. Here's a gorgeous purple and green one. Here's another one of those square ones. So you can even take, like if you look at this, okay, see how the inside of that is made to look like a postage stamp? You can literally take your scissors and cut this edge off and see what that looks like. If you don't like it, again, you can remelt it. In fact, let's just try that for kicks and giggles. This one is a little fatter than what I would choose. So I'm just going to take these scissors and see if I can cut through that and see what that'll look like. It might be complete crap, I don't know. But let's just see. Okay, so far so good. It cuts pretty easy. Even that heavier part there, because I mean it's just wax. And it's a, let's just get that a little straighter. Okay, now the only thing about when you cut it down, it's lost a little bit of the look of the wax seal, but still kind of cool. Let's just go around that with some gold and make that stand out. Now this is not raised as much, so it kind of got onto the inside as well. But again, if you don't like it, melt it down. If I don't like it, I'll melt it down. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but there you go. Oh, let's hold it right. I think that's what is right. The image is not super clear on this, but nevertheless, you've made a postage stamp looking wax seal. Kind of cool. And it has almost no bulk to it that way, if you can see that. Very, very thin. So if you're needing to keep something thinner, you can just cut the bulk right off. And then that is reusable. You can melt it endless times, as far as I know. I've melted it many times and never had it go weird or anything like that. So I hope that you can have some fun with some wax seals. I don't know if you could do this with like regular candle wax and like mica powder or something. I think this is a bit of a thicker wax than a candle wax. I don't actually know. It seems thicker to me than just regular candle wax. But you could play around with it if you don't have anything, and you can use, like if you don't have any wax seal stamps, you can take something like this and turn that upside down into the wax and peel it off and have a shape. You could take a ring and put it down. That's what they used to do. They'd have signet rings sometimes that they would put right in the wax. That would be super authentic and fun. So give it some try. Give it a try. It's not terribly expensive. I mean, I get it on Temu. You can get kits and stuff off of Amazon for like $12, but I get it on Temu for even cheaper. And some people have said that the wax comes smaller. That's true in some cases. So some of the pellets are, if you can see this, these ones are smaller. And these ones are bigger. These ones are smaller. These ones are bigger. All came from Temu in different packs. So it just matters. I don't even know how you could tell if there's a measurement on there somewhere that you could tell how big they are. I don't know. I never did look at the measurement. But if you have smaller pellets, just put more pellets. That's all there is to it. But I hope you can have some fun with this, and I'm going to let you go now. Hugs!